Hey, Pittsburgh Steelers did sign Karl Joseph, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, they did. And this is a guy that we had talked about before this offseason. He had came in on a visit.
Yeah.
Had tweeted about how he really liked the organization, how he really wanted to be here. And we kind of were confused in terms of what was taking it so long to happen, right? Why
him and Malik Hooker. Absolutely. It was one or the other.
Yeah, we thought both of those guys could be assets. We thought both of those guys, in terms of Malik Hooker and Karl Joseph, we thought that they could fit. Not necessarily the local tie with Karl Joseph, but he still went to West Virginia, so local-ish, and it just felt like it made sense. So to me, seeing that they brought him into the practice squad, I like, and we kind of hit on this a little bit earlier with the move of him going to the practice squad initially versus the active roster. Going to practice squad, you get a chance to test where his conditioning is, where he is health-wise. Also, it gives him time to just get familiar with the defense. I know we're not doing that with Joe Schobert, but the Joe Schobert situation was different solely because it was training camp. We had multiple weeks of practice, couple of games that didn't count. So you could get away with that. Whereas now, 53-man roster, you got to make some, tougher decisions. You bring Karl in to practice squad and just let him take as long as he needs. Now, it shouldn't take him long. That's the other thing with a guy like him. I wouldn't be surprised if he's ready by week 1. I really wouldn't. If conditioning is where it needs to be, he's a smart player. When you play in this league long enough, football is football. You get an understanding of it, and from there, it's more so just a puzzle. Everybody's going to have different words for it, or how we play. There might be little difference of nuance kind of we talk about in coverage, right? We press up and man this, where some people play it top down. Those little things, that can get worked out easy. That doesn't take long to get that nuance in. For a guy like Karl, that's what I'm saying. Like, it's easier for him because he's been in the league for a while. He's played this game. So yeah, man, I love that move though by them. And I think that it gives you some serious depth now compared to what it was prior to him being here. When we were talking about, are you going Miles Killebrew or Trey Norwood? And we know their limitations as well. With Karl, that puts that to rest a little bit.
Yeah, great move.
Yeah.
Steelers, you were mentioning, everyone's on the wire. Everyone's paying attention. Seemed like the Steelers didn't forget about Karl Joseph as soon as he hit the market. Man. Picked him up. And huge upgrade over Trey Norwood.
Absolutely.
He's the guy that's gone, in my opinion. But I don't know if if it's going to be the whole waiver situation where they're worried about actually losing him. But if that was the case, bro, like, wow.
But wait a minute.
Quincy Roche, I would have liked to kept over Trey Norwood.
But this is my thing. The only reason I understand why the team kept Trey Norwood over Quincy Roche. Neither one of those guys are going to be starters this year. But right now, Jameer Jones beat out Quincy Roche. He had a better training. He had a better better preseason. And for a fact, he'll be the first one up of that group, right? When you talk about the fourth guy, he would have been the first guy up, whether it was him, Quincy Roche, or Cassius Marsh. Whereas with Trey Norwood, Trey is higher up on that depth chart. Now, granted, sometimes because of just the lack of bodies, but the situation is what it is. And Trey gives you more positional flexibility. Trey can be safety, nickel corner, or you might can even throw him on the outside, similar to a Cam Sutton situation. But this is the thing, though.
We're down bad. We're down bad if those are the scenarios.
The biggest knock to me with Trey is the physicality, not necessarily the coverage. So when you're talking about putting him in coverage roles, I like him there. At safety, he has to fill the alley. That's where he struggles. That's where he's timid a little bit. That's where he second guesses it, and it puts him and the defense in a bind. You put him in a cornerback spot, now is different just in terms of how you conduct the defense and how where you're funneling stuff to the corners. We're not expecting corners to be great tacklers. We're just like, get in their way long enough for the cavalry to get here, or make sure they can run out of bounds. Or if they're going to run you over, make sure they trip over you on the way over. Like that's what you're thinking of. Whereas at safety, that's a 100 tackle spot. Think about Edmonds. You think about Minka. They're in the action a ton. So if you can't tackle, it's been times with Minka where we get on him for his tackling. Yeah. It stands out way more at that position. So that's why for Trey, I'm like, I could easily understand them saying that he just gives you more value. And once again, Keith Butler in his interview today, he said, man, look, we only got 4 cornerbacks, but we have guys that could play multiple positions. Trey is the guy that he's talking about. Trey is the guy that can give you, okay, he's listed as this, but he can count for 3 other spots. And with Quincy Roche, he just doesn't bring that right now. Not saying who's going to be the better player long term, but in terms of fourth inside backer versus second free safety in a bind third or fourth slot corner in a serious bind, you could bump him outside. Like that's what Trey kind of brings to the table.
You mentioned the physicality. That's why I like this move.
Yeah.
Because Karl Joseph brings that.
Absolutely, he does. Absolutely.
You look at his stats, man. This is the season he played the most.
Karl. I like him, man.
He had 80 tackles with 15 games played and 17. And the other ones where he's hurt, he's playing 13, 12, 9 games, 14. Like, he would have been, if you average it out, he would have been up in that 70s, 80s, 90s range for tackles per season.
Absolutely.
I've seen some highlights with him. Like, he's not afraid to get after it. So I like that. And he's supposed to be good in coverage and can play some of this slot.
I just like the fact he's a smart player. He knows how to play the game. You watch him and you're like, okay, thank you. If you're going to get beat based on physical ability. Don't get beat based on a self-inflicted wound. And with Karl, he doesn't do a lot of self-inflicted stuff. That's what I like about him. I'm like, yo, you might lose, but it's nothing that you did to yourself.
2 questions.
Talk about it.
Are you concerned about him jumping teams? Browns 1-year deal, signs with Raiders, get cut. Someone did comment on one of my vids, though, that the Raiders have some pretty good safeties right now, young good safety. So that could be the reason he's not with the squad.
Come on now.
As opposed to him losing it.
Every year, multiple good players get released and they didn't get beat out. They didn't fall off a cliff. It's just the business part, or a team is just saying, hey, long term, we like this guy. We want to get him his development. And we think if you're here because of how good you are and because we know he's not going to beat you out, that's going to stunt his growth. And we can't have that, because whether we got money invested in him, whether it was a draft pick, or whether we just personally like the guy, that does happen a lot as well, man.
Everything being equal, you can say he's healthy, ready to go. How much is he playing? Does he automatically jump over Norwood, Killebrew, third safety?
I would.
Potentially slot, cornerback 4 maybe?
I would have to see him a little bit more first for me to go all the way there. Because I think right now, I'm not nervous about our slot situation, because to me, I'm playing it James Pierre on the outside, Cam Sutton on the inside. I'm confident as heck in Cam Sutton at slot corner. So I don't even feel as pressed about putting Karl down there. I thought, like, when we even talked about Malik, the reason why we were trying to figure out that extra person was because we thought Cam was going to be playing exclusively on the outside. Now that we know that that's not necessarily the case, now I feel a little bit easier. Now I'm like, okay, he's good. Now we just got to make sure James Pierre looks like how he looked in the preseason versus legit starters now. As long as that happens, we're good. I'm not as nervous. When you get to your 4th corner, obviously we know, it's 4 corners, man. Like, it's a coin flip when you get to that 4th guy. You hope you got a good guy, but not everybody is going to have that. And I'm okay with that, because at least I feel confident in our top unit right now. That's why, like, for me, like, I don't even look at Karl as, he's got to come and be this, 3rd corner, or can you play this? Can you do that? I don't think we need that just yet. It could get to that, but I'm hoping it doesn't.
I would like to see him play, though. I'd like to see him get a spot. I don't know what type of role or how many snaps that means.
See, for me, I think of it more so as early on, perfect case scenario for the defense. We're situated secondary-wise. Okay, when we're trying to do some of this smaller defense, right? And we know whether like Devin or exactly, like, was Morgan Burnett, how we would put him down there in the box like that. We even talked about, could we put Edmonds down there? I wouldn't hate it if he was in there for that role, especially early on, because we know with Joe is still going to be learning this defense. I still anticipate growing pains from him. Devin Bush is still getting back. I still anticipate growing pains from him. So you could
get a bump in coverage.
See that, and that's kind of how I think of it, because for Karl, he for certain will be an upgrade coverage wise, especially in the beginning part of the season over both of them. So I kind of visualize us using him in those.
What about even cornerback 4 though? You keep the 2 linebackers, and then you have Sutton in the slot, and then you have him on the other
option.
slot.
That's definitely an option.
You still,
but it depends on how they feel about Arthur Marlette as well, since they brought him back.
Either Marlette or even Justin Lane.
Yeah.
I like this pickup though. I'm pretty amped up about it.
I think it gives you options, and that's my biggest thing. I just want us to have options back there where we're not simply telling ourselves this is the guy solely because we have nobody else. That's not a good feeling.
No, that's how I felt with Arthur Marlette.
Yeah, it's not a good feeling.
Now, if Joseph can push Marlette and he wins the job, now I feel good about it.
Yeah.
Which I'd expect him to do, dude. Like, in terms of productivity throughout both of their careers, I just feel like Joseph's going to find a way to the field. It seemed like we were really interested in him this offseason, too. Like to see it.
I would too, man. definitely would. But I guess I think he's gonna have a role. I don't know how soon it is, but he'll definitely have a role. And like I said, I like him just because he gives you more options, more versatility on that back end, and that's what we need right now. We need options just in case this guy doesn't play well. Or what about a guy that you might be expecting to play well? What if they struggle? I mean, it happens, right?
Yeah,
guys,
or just injuries.
Anything can happen, man. So you want to just have guys where you got multiple options, multiple things that can save you in the situation where something could be bad.
Oh, especially you're seeing how the league's turning. How many sets or how many times are the Bills going to be running out 4 wide receiver sets? That's what I mean. If we could have Joseph as the fourth guy, that could help us out a lot. So we're not completely exposed in the running game. He could bring that physicality.
They're pulling up Diggs, Beasley, Davis, Sanders.
Oh, just have a running back there.
Yeah. And that's no tight end action. That's a handful right there, man. Yeah. It's going to be fun, though. I'm excited about it.
Hopefully he's ready week 1 like that.
It's going to be funny either way. I'm excited, bro. We'll be in the building. We're going to be over there. Hey.
That's going to be fun.
Heck yeah,
that's going to be so much fun.
Turn it up with our peoples. You know, still a nation getting it in. Little, road action. Always good times, man. All right.
Where do you want to go now?
Now, this question came up and is very present for this topic, so we'll hop into this chat right here. But it's from Richard Rasmussen. He says, "You taking Karl Joseph or Terrell Edmonds after this season?" Both of them are in a contract.
We got to see them play.
It's just a simple question because,
right now I'll take Edmonds.
But a lot of people do feel like Edmonds is a bum. They say that all the time. We always laugh. We're like, I don't know what y'all watch compared to what we watch. I don't personally see it, but that is a good question. I'm sure some people are here like, yeah, give me Karl Joseph. I'll take him any day of the week right now.
All right, let's say Joseph plays well, looks good. Okay. Maybe it's a limited role.
Mm-hmm.
Joseph back for $2 million versus Edmonds. I don't know what his contract's gonna be.
I like Edmonds.
$8-9 million. I'm with you. I'm taking Edmonds,
bro. Edmonds has been healthy the whole time. Edmonds has been here the whole time, and Edmonds has gotten better every single year. And he's a high pedigree guy. I don't feel like Karl is a better athlete than Edmonds. Edmonds is a great athlete. The biggest knock with Edmonds was his coverage, and we've pointed out numerous times, especially last year, that's continuing to improve. And I think it's going to continue even more so this year, man. So, yeah, I'm good on Edmonds, man. I like him.
I agree. Yeah. Right now I'm saying Edmonds, and it probably will still be Edmonds. My only caveat was Edmonds at X contract. Right. You could get Joseph on the cheap at $2 million.
Because I just don't think Edmonds is going to be in the
I don't think you want to be bargain shopping like that, though, really.
Well, you know what they say? When you bargain shop, you're going to get on that field, man. Bargain productivity. And that is not what we're looking for.
I'm not opposed to Edmonds, $7, $8, $9 million. I don't know what it's going to end up being, but if we could get Edmonds for, I think, just an overall fair price, like I'd be pretty amped about that. Bring him back.
What is that? Like, I don't do that. What? Ain't no topics no more, man. I'm done.
Yeah.
You sure? Or should we come back?
I think that'd be a good call to do it.
We just quit right now?
No, I'm having fun.
You sure?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like you said, when it feels like work, that's when we do it.
Well, I'm having fun
right now.
too.
Yeah, I'm always having fun. Come on.
I'm having fun. Because I just dropped the logo. I just dropped the logo to somebody that is a big supporter of our channel.
I was. I thought you were talking about Juju for a second. Because he's having fun on the milk crate.
Oh, no. Well, some people milk crate, but you know what helps with the milk crate? When your aerodynamic is right. And you know how you get your aerodynamic right? When you use that lawnmower 4.0. The one with the light.
So Juju didn't need the spotters?
Who needs a spotter when you're aerodynamic, baby? Because when it's hot, because it's the summertime right now, it's still August. When it's hot, you perspire a little bit, and that perspiration could alter your balance. We know hair in certain areas, promotes a little bit more heat, which promotes a little bit more perspiration. But when you use that lawnmower 4.0, baby, we trim that grass. And when you trim that grass, you get a little more wind down that way. And that should help those people out. And that's how you get that bounce like that. And that's why my man was able to just pop, down the thing like that.
Completed the milk crate challenge.
Absolutely, man. So if you want to complete the milk crate challenge, baby, what you need to do is get that lawnmower 4.0. All right, that performance package 4.0. But more importantly, you need to use that promo code, which is MOATS. And when you use that promo code, you get 20% off along with free shipping. Who doesn't want free shipping? Who doesn't want 20% off? Who doesn't want to be aerodynamic below the waist? That's all I'm saying, man. That's all I'm saying. Crop reviver, crop refresher. Can't go wrong with it, baby. Manscaped. Trust us. We're the experts. We talk about it and we try. Man, listen, when we say the delicate twins are appreciated, they will. All right.